Hello, loves. Hello, hello. It's Hills here from the Blue Flame Apothecary. How are you? Today is 6/6. When I'm recording this, it's the 6th of June. Yesterday, Venus entered Leo, where the planet of love and beauty and luxury is going to remain until October 12th, I believe. This is a very, very long stay in a single sign for Venus. During this 4-month journey through big-hearted, creative, sense of self emboldening Leo, Venus will also transition from an evening star to a morning star. Where will we begin? Let's begin with 6/6 and we'll move from there. And for some on this planet, I'm thinking Australia, anyone on the other side of the date line from the Pacific coast of the US, will have experienced Venus's transition into Leo on the 6/6 portal. And because we know time is an illusion, whenever you're listening to this, you are being given an opportunity to dip into the energies of the 6/6 portal. So with that, the number 6 from a numerological perspective is related to healing and the heart, to love, much like Venus, the planet. It's also an expansion number. It comes just after you've tipped off over onto the other side. I'm also called to share with you all something that came in for me this morning with regard to the number 6. I was in meditation and I was feeling into this 6/6 portal, and I was shown the number 6 and the number 9 as these reverses of one another, the yin yang, numerologically speaking, and that the 6 connects our heart to our lower centers, as the 9 connects our heart to our upper centers. And our lower centers are connected up through our heart, as our upper centers are connected down through our heart, and together they meet. The number 6 has a very embodied feel to it. One of the other ways that it was coming in to share with you all is in the Western calendar, June is the 6th month of the year. June resonates to the energy of Cancer, though Gemini is also very prevalent. But the name June is Juno, the mother. It's very, very related to our sense of belonging and our family structures. From an astrological perspective, it is the sign Virgo, which is actually in August and September, right? That resonates to the 6th frequency. Virgo holds the same energy template and represents the 6th house, which is healing. It's wholeness, coming into a state of whole beingness, purity, perfection. It resonates, Virgo means the virgin, and we talk a lot about how the virgin is not about a female who's never had sex or a male who has never had sex. It is a whole and complete person, a person who has found a sense of completion within self, who is whole unto themselves. So from this, we can start to feel into the magic that the 6/6 portal has to offer us. something for us to tune into, is where we connect to our embodied being. Those are the lower chakras, right? The solar plexus and the navel sacrum areas. All of these are about being in our physical bodies. All of these are about being in our physical bodies, and they connect up to the heart and down from the heart through that 6 rotation. I found it really interesting as all of this frequency was coming in of this number 6, this healing, this embodied beingness, this sense of whole beingness, whole unto selfness, of coming into a state of wholeness within family structures, occurring just as Venus is ready to, is making the first forays into the Leo energy. There is something interesting about Venus. She rules 2 signs. She rules the sign of Taurus, that very grounded, material, embodied presence energy, the earthy energy of Taurus. And Venus also rules the sign of Libra, which is about balance and relationships in the world, how we relate to others in the world. Both signs are, Libra is also very interested in justice. It's the scales, right? Balancing things out, keeping things in balance in relationship. That's a very, very Libran energy. Both Libra and Taurus are also very connected to the financial world. There's a reason the bull is the symbol of the New York Stock Exchange. So Venus is also very connected to manifestation, to financials. And when I speak of financials, yes, of course, because of the world that we currently live in, that is money. It's currency. But the way that it's coming through to speak about now, and this is part of what Venus is going to be doing in Leo for so long, is asking us to get creative, that's Leo energy, with the way that we value ourselves. What is our currency? What is our currency? Where can we make love our true value? Where can we let love help us come into a truer state of valuing? And there's that wholeness again, right? That healing energy. Virgo is very, very connected to healing, as is the number 6. I'm throwing a lot at you guys right now. I realize I'm throwing a lot at you guys right now. So I'm feeling like, let's take this in a little bit deeper. Let's take this in a little bit deeper. Let's move deeper into the Venusian energies. The way we do that is through our heart. The way we do that is through our heart. Take a moment and let yourself get into your heart space. To really feel yourself in your heart. To come to a state of whole beingness within your heart. When we speak of the goddess energies, when we speak of Aphrodite, Venus, Inanna, Persephone, Isis, all of these names and all of these goddesses, and each has their own beautiful thread, just like we do, that we weave. but the Venusian energy kind of holds all of that in one space. We can allow Venus to be a template holder for all of the divine feminine in some ways. While Venus also is its own unique energy. Let's play. Let's play for a few minutes here with the expanded Venusian energy first. Remember that Leo, the sign in which Venus is going to be traveling and making this transition from evening star to morning star, is big and bold, creative, courageous, strong, right? It is the sign that is ruled by the sun, which is our outward expression of self, our stellar soul self. To have this expanded landscape of Venus, not solely like a physical beauty or human love, although those are absolutely part of this energetic template, but to have divine love, divine beauty, divine luxury, true heart's desire from a divine perspective. Can we feel how much we've limited the Venusian energy when we say, I'm hearing that song, I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, your desire, right? Like we've put it into this tiny little box of like feminine beauty, and then we put feminine beauty into this tiny little box also, like you have to look this way, you have to present this way, and this is what luxury is. Like, we've had all of these restrictions on what beauty is placed upon us, and we've grown up in these worlds of what this Barbie and this Ken doll and your little pink Corvette. Yesterday I got my nails done and I picked a color and I didn't realize that it was like Barbie pink, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's actually perfect for the energy that we're moving into with Venus and Leo. Because we get to get really creative now. We get to say, what is luxury? What is beauty? What if the thing that actually makes you beautiful is the light within you? And if we allow ourselves to look upon one another from those places, with those eyes, with that heart sight, we will see the abundant beauty all around us. And then we can find all of these new ways to value one another. This is the expanded Venus energy. This is the energy that Venus is inviting us to remember about ourselves, about our heart space. Leo, getting really creative. Over the next month and a half or so, Venus is going to be traveling forward through Leo. So we're going to get to play for a while here with this outward expression of how we can creatively love one another. Remember, Venus rules Libra, so it's about our relationships outside of self, to one another in the world, how we connect with one another. And it's also ruling Taurus, so it's that embodied state of beingness. So we get to, until July 22nd, when Venus shifts retrograde, which is also Mary Magdalene feast day. So very, very powerful divine feminine day is when Venus shifts retrograde. Between now and then, we get to play around and boldly go into the world from this state of, I see the divine light within you and it is radiant. It is beautiful. Oh, thank you for seeing my divine light. I see yours too and value that. I value you and you value me and we value each other. This is community. I'm hearing, yes, and last year we had the first Venus star point in Libra, which is also coming into that place of re-exploring our relationship to others, the beauty and the value of others in our world, new ways to connect and love one another. And then on July 22nd, the feast day of the Magdalena, Venus moves back, starts moving backwards through Leo. The planet makes it almost all the way to the end of Leo, to the 28th degree of Leo, and then turns around and goes back and makes it to the 12th degree, 12, in fact, before turning around and starting forward again. So we will have the Lionsgate portal with Venus retrograde. We will have the equinox with Venus retrograde. I believe it's right around the September equinox that Venus turns around again. During that time period between the Lionsgate and the equinox, Venus will meet in the conjunction with the sun and switch over into a morning star. I believe I have those dates right. And then in October, we'll finally make her way out of Leo and into Virgo. During this retrograde period that we have through the end of July and into August, maybe even into September a bit, we will get to experience turning that expanded love, that creative, new, bold, courageous, strong, big-hearted love, that exploration of luxury and beauty and value inward. We will have experienced and expressed this and been able to play with this energy in our relationships around us for like a month, a little over a month, almost a month and a half. And then we get to turn it in and we get to say, now that I've seen how I can play with that energy outside of myself, I can remember that there is no thing that is outside of myself that is not also within me. And I can play with this energy now. I can let this divine love meet in my heart space and expand it even wider. I can see all of those places where I have devalued myself, where I have told myself that I'm not beautiful because I don't meet this standard or that standard, and then I can love the fuck out of it. I can love the fuck out of all of those places and say, that too is my light. That too is my light. There's something coming through, and I'm giving it space. Hai sa gon cho shiki sikari to stani de da ka lo monti shi wa da sakini to la ni ti ti ala yondo shonda ya lo da ta sondai ya no la ya There's a light inside of you. There's a light inside of you. Let it shine, 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 let it shine. Let your heart open wider. You are divine. Over the next 4 months, while we play in this Venusian, big-hearted lion energy, we'll navigate all of the various interactions that Venus is going to have through this transit, through Leo. As she's making her way, as this planet has tipped over into Leo, she went into that opposition with Pluto. It's still active right now. So it really, really feels like we get to play around, even as we step into this, with those shadowy realms of how we structured our society and confined, boxed in our ideas of love and beauty, of luxury, of what it means to be in physical bodies and to have hearts. And part of what we get to do through this transit, and always through, this is what it means to come down here and soul experience embodiment, is to get to play around with the heart and to play around with all of the ways we can break it and expand it, and break it and expand it, and break it and expand it. One of the things that has been really loud that we're going to be invited to play with over these coming months, partly this is the Venusian energy. It also feels like it's very connected to a lot of the other, just the energetic template in general that we're experiencing right now. There's a lot of falling away energy. This particular transit, the energy that it represents, is inviting us to also get creative with how we experience grief. With how we experience grief. We've labeled our hearts breaking as a bad thing. What if it's not? What if our heart breaking actually helps it to grow and to expand? And we have been confining it into this place of, no, that hurts, that hurts, that hurts, that hurts. Don't feel that, don't feel that, don't feel that. When actually, if we allow ourselves to feel the grief, whether it's the grief of the passing of a pet or of a family member or a loved one from whatever it may be. I lost a plum tree in my side yard that was probably 50 years old, and that was grief I let process through me. I've been playing around with the loss of my brother who died about 8 years ago, almost exactly. It was just the anniversary. All of the various losses that we experience, the big ones and the small ones, are an invitation for us to feel more deeply, and through that open our ability to love more and more and more and more widely. We expand our ability to love through our ability to deeply feel. You know, we can light the candles and we can make the altars and we can do all of the things that we have historically done to honor our grief, to honor those who have left us, or who we believe have left us. Oftentimes their energy is, I mean, it's always within us. So in some ways it's never left us. In that way, it has never left us. But what if there are new and creative ways? Like my brother, who passed 8 years ago, but the anniversary was right around Mother's Day. The day after the anniversary, I realized I hadn't lit a candle. I hadn't honored him in a physical way like I had in the past. And I was out on a walk and I was like, oh, did I miss something? Did I not do something? Was I trying to divert my gaze from this loss? And I started a conversation with my brother Jory on this walk, and I said, you know, what was it that I didn't want to see? Was there something that I didn't want to see? And his energy came in and said, no, absolutely not, because you and I work together all the time. We work together every day in different ways. And then I asked about where he was now. And he told me, oh, I'm with Ruby. That's my 4-year-old niece. And I understood in that moment, his soul didn't reincarnate as Ruby, but that he has come in and they're connected. And so through her, he's staying in the family line and helping her navigate the healing that she agreed to as a soul. And now we get to dance and weave together through loving her. Isn't that amazing? Right? That's a creative new way, a new tool, a new ability that we maybe didn't think about before, that we can experience our love, let our hearts break, and through that breaking expand and open. And now I can see all of the love that I pour into my niece Ruby, her soul gets to feel, but also my brother's soul gets to feel. Isn't that amazing? And that helps us to feel into all of the interconnectedness of everything, every decision that we make, every yes and every no opens us up into a new plane and into a new way. But if I go down that hole, we'll be there for a while. So, let's get back into the heart space. And we'll close there. We'll close there. We'll come back into that beautiful song, light language. that came through earlier. And let it emerge from each one of our hearts now and carry us through and wrapping each and every one of us in this beautiful bubble of frequency that is the divine light within each of us, the divine love within each and every one of us. None of these energies are separate from us. They are all within all of us. It's like the Jungian interpretation of a dream. Every character in your dream is you. Every energy exists within you. How will you play with it? How will you play with it? How will you play with it? I would love to hear from you. If anything rang through your heart, through your being, let me know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all of the things, all of the things. The Venus point transmission would be an amazing way to start to feel into these energies. If you haven't requested a link, there will be a link below. You can request that transmission and activation. If you already have it, definitely this would be an amazing time to go re-journey through that energy. If you would like me to help you navigate your soul path, this portal that we're in is potent. It is overflowing with find your soul path. Start walking your greatest, truest soul path. And I would love to host you for a consult and see where we could maybe journey together, where we're called to explore and open our hearts ever further with one another. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your divine light, and for sharing this time and space, and this frequency with me. As always and in all ways, so much and many loves to you from, through, and beyond all the dimensions.